I've been with VectorVest now for 18 years. Seems like 2 weeks, it really does. Just a little background on myself. I'm the Director of Trading Systems Development here at VectorVest now, so my primary focus is on putting trading systems together. However, over the 18 years that I've been here, I've done a little bit of everything, I guess. Taught everything from stock market basics and how to use VectorVest in that regard to make money in the stock market, all the way up to advanced option techniques and everything in between. So I've been around the block, I guess you would say, and it's just been a great ride. It's been a lot of fun. And my primary focus now, as I mentioned, trading systems, but also we do a live trading room every morning, as Jerry talked about, called the Jockey Club. And we get together about 2.5 hours every morning, and we look at stocks and what looks good as far as good trading opportunities every morning. So that's a blast, a lot of fun.
His first pick is going to be Lulu, but do you want to look at it on the?
Yeah, go to the viewers.
All right, let's go to the viewers. Let's go find Lulu.
All right, should be at the top.
It is at the top. Way to go, Steve.
I got lucky.
Okay.
All right, so good story here, obviously. I don't like to get too much into stories, but Lulu has been knocking the cover off the ball last several earnings announcements. You probably also, if you follow CNBC or anything like that, you've probably heard things like only 5% of their business is actually affected by any of this China shenanigans, all that stuff. So they've got a very solid business model, and in the spirit of the holiday season, with everybody wanting to go out and buy some yoga apparel, I'm sure, they actually make some good clothes all the way around now. And it's not cheap stuff. Let's go through the VectorVest numbers, because that's the answers. All of that is conjecture and hearsay and fluff and things that you can get right off of TV. Let's see what the facts are. So the price is $210. Value is roughly $151, right? So it does trade above value. Now, really good stocks often do. So that is only a concern if they're not making money and doing that consistently. So let's go, now having said that, we would always prefer to buy undervalued stocks when you can find them, particularly if they're of this caliber, right? But let's continue on with the story. So we'll move across to RV, which is relative value. Relative value is the upside potential for a stock over a 1 to 3 year time horizon. These numbers are all cast on a 0 to 2 scale, okay? So anything above 1 is favorable for the stock. So what we're saying here is Lulu should outperform a similar investment in a AAA corporate bond over the next 1 to 3 years by roughly 38%. That's 38% above and beyond whatever the current rate is, okay? So that gives us some insight. That says, hey, you're better off buying this stock and far better off than putting your money in a quote-unquote safer investment like a AAA bond. When we get to RS or safety, now it becomes important, hey, I like the fact that they're making money, but how consistently have they done it? And so relative safety gives us that answer. It clearly, there's about 12 factors, okay? And we only have a short amount of time today, so I got to be careful, because I'm the long-winded one on this panel.
Amen.
But they're the companies with the highest safety ratings are the ones that grow that earnings quarter after quarter after quarter, year after year, okay? So the higher they are above 1, the better job they do. And so of this list, it's not the highest, I don't think, but it's pretty close.
It's number 2.
Okay, so they have great upside. They do it very consistently. They grow that earnings very, very consistently. Also, the timing is good. Timing is at 135, so we call this, or I would anyway, a 3-time winner. It's got good upside. It's safe, one of the safer ones out there, believe it or not, even though it trades well above value. And it's also in a nice price trend. So all factors considered, it gives it its VST score. That's where we get our name, VectorVest, from the Vector formula for value, safety, and timing. Okay, so it's got the highest composite score of any stock on the list. Now let's get to the next pick, and then we'll go to the charts. That seemed like a good flow.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I'm going to take a little bit of a bird of a different feather approach here. I'm going to try to capitalize on what you might know now as the 5G revolution. 5G's coming, Jim.
It's coming.
It's coming, right? So Corvo, interesting company here, and it's not a little guy.
I don't know why that happened, sorry.
It's okay. Currently price is coming in at 103. This, by the way, was taken directly from a watch list in VectorVest that was produced by our founder, Dr. Bart DeLito, was several months ago now, maybe close to half a year or more. But anyway, he wrote about the 5G revolution that's coming, and this was one of the stocks featured in that watch list. I like it today because it's on the move, man. It's really moving. Right now it's undervalued, which is good. Price is 103, value is 121. When we look at upside potential, it's starting to ring some bells there now. So you got a 1.17, and I think you're going to see here in a minute that that's only, kind of on its way up. Safety, they're still establishing their track record. They're not the safest stock by way of meeting and beating earnings estimates quarter after quarter, year after year, but they are on fire right now. And again, you'll see that here in a second. As 5G is just kind of at its infancy and not even really off the ground yet. We're getting there. Relative timing comes in at 166, so it's in one of the stronger uptrends of any stock on the list, if not the strongest right now. Okay. All right, so let's look at these two stocks, Glenn, then on the charts. One, I'm going to capitalize on something Jerry was just talking about, and Jim. Support and resistance. So Lulu likes to move in waves. There's just no two ways about it. It likes to do an ABC. It likes to, start low, go higher, pull back a little bit, and then repeat that over and over and over and over again across the chart, right? One of the things that I see happening right now is it's breaking up towards that next apex. It's breaking through resistance, right? So I believe you can buy a Lulu now. That might be refreshing. I really think you should consider it. It's one of the top stocks certainly on this list. It ranks highly in the VectorVest system altogether. If you look at earnings on the bottom, very, very strong earnings growth, particularly even recently, which has been a pretty tough climate to do that. Jerry had some good EPS patterns too on his picks. I'm sure Jim will as well. But that looks great. And like I said, I mean, they really have, their earnings reports have been tremendously upbeat. Breaking out, that's why I picked this one. Keeping it really simple. And yeah, I think you could buy it right now. I mean, the only thing I would say on that front is go to the homepage, just real quick. What do we say? VectorVest does not advocate buying any stocks at this time. So your only concern, it's not the stock level. The stock looks great, okay? It's the market. The market's starting to look a little toppy here, guys. Over the past 7-8 trading sessions, we've closed within a pretty tight range. Today compared to where, and maybe even today compared to where we've been over those last 5, 6, 7 days. So when we start to turn green here, Lulu's a buy, okay? Let's go back to the graphs. So the next one was Corvo, right? This is, again, it's different. This is this is the hot stock picking panel, right?
Yeah.
So I tried to put a hot one in here. This one's moving. It's up about 35% in the last month, something like that. Look at that earnings acceleration on the bottom. So one of the more dramatic movers by way of earnings here lately, again, they're starting to get a lot of great press. You can see the chart pattern up there at the top. We had some explosiveness. We'll get to the news here in a minute. Then a little bit of a jog sideways and some resurgence today. I like the fact that it kind of had a little mini pullback here, and buyers are resurfacing and coming right back into the party here. So a break above the high of the channel, and I think you're a buyer here on QRVO, which is not all that far away. Could happen tomorrow with some good market movement at the open. So I'm going to show them something they haven't showed them yet. Let's go to the news. Right within VectorVest, you can always click the news button, come out and see, why is this stock up 35% in the last month? So just scroll down. Well, there you go. Why Corvo could be positioned for a surge. That was written 5 hours ago by Zacks. Okay. Let's keep going down. Corvo, strong industry, solid earnings estimate revisions. Those revisions are going the right way. They're all being revised higher, which is what you want to see. Corvo is set to trade still higher, so buy the shallow dips here.
Which we're seeing now.
Which we're seeing now, and that's written by the street 5 days ago. So they got it right, Jerry.
Yeah, they did.
They got it right. So lots of reasons to think about it. I don't like to tell anybody ever what to do. I just like to present possibilities, and I think here's another possibility that they should consider. What do you guys think?
I love
Go
it.
through them.
Just a different perspective on Lulu. If you click on Lulu, Glenn, go back to Lulu.
Am I not on Lulu?
No, you're on Corvo.
I knew that.
And give me a freehand line,
Dang it, you're going to do what I was getting ready to do.
and I want you to take right above the
okay,
right
good.
above the U. I want you to click at the low right above the U and draw a trend right above the
ahead.
U at that low. Yep, and draw a trend line connecting those lows. You could probably go a little higher.
Yeah.
I want to catch that most recent low. Yeah, I want to catch that low. So different perspective is if you don't buy it now, you wait for it to come back down, kiss that trend line, which you've seen it do a couple of times, and that is a good entry as well.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I was going to do it a little differently.
Particularly
I was
with a
going to go
candle
on
pattern.
the 1
Yes.
year. I was going to go on the 1 year graph and sort of do the same thing. And both of our lines come out. Look at that last low. They both, whether it's on the 1 year graph or on that shorter term, that now solidifies that point, which is, and if Jerry lets me know if I'm correct or not.
Well, the only thing is you always adjust trend lines higher. But we'll come back to that at
Okay.
another time.
That's what I was looking at. I know. And they are better suited for that, but would you call that a hammer, yes or no?
It's close.
Okay.
I don't think that the lower wick is twice as long as the body, so
And
I'd
that's
say
what
no.
needs to happen, so I wasn't sure. But nonetheless, that level
That's a
I know
hammer.
what a hammer is.
that level of support, almost a hammer, not quite, but still a reversal nonetheless. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days in a row off of that candlestick pattern. All right, so that was going to be my 2 cents. Jerry, I dislike you for using the freehand line. I really do.
I'll just say again, I love the idea that it's a high RS stock. It could have come from any retirement search. So I love the stock just because of that.
Anything on Curvo? I like that it's right there at resistance. And guess what? Today's activity has it right there. Normally, if my friend Tom was here, he would say, man, this stuff really works. Looking at support and resistance,
It needs the breakout.
it does. And it's right there, popping
So
earnings.
you'd place the buy stop order
I'd
right
place
above the
the,
high.
I'd place the
above the high.
buy stop 12 and a half cents above the high.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
could do it now.
You could.
Go into my account. I'm going to place a buy. No, I'm just.
Oh, wow. Because I was like, if I were to get in your account, you wouldn't like that very tough, would you? You'd be like, whoa, what you doing in my
I
account?
got nothing to hide.
Well,
Want to trade in my account?
All right. Good picks. I do like the picks. So far, both of the picks were right. And the trade that I was going to really go in on, you did a good job. You really did a good job. And it actually turned me around on one to look at it. All right. It's amazing how many times we pick a stock that we are associated with.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of people out there do that. But being able to take that heartfelt information and then translate it into what the software provides for you helps to establish or say, man, I might really like it, but it's not the right time. But that's a good deal. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Now, if you're new to the software or would like refresher information about the software, click on this Getting Started video right here. Thanks to all of your input, here's a YouTube video that we think would be perfect for you. Click right here. If nothing else, folks, just hit the subscribe button right here.